So they wanted me to get on the phone with like 40 of their LGBTQ community, not on the phone, on Zoom. And I felt like you're all these people, all your employees are slandering the hell out of me right now. You think I want to get on a video where they can then film it, And I felt very kind of insecure about that. So what I offered them.
Hello and welcome to the Brothers Random Show. My name is Travis.
I'm Michael.
And we are two ordinary brothers discussing extraordinary ideas and some random shit. So the topics on this show range from theology, masculinity, stories, movies, philosophy, books, pop culture, and many other subjects. We often talk about the people we admire and the wisdom they share. People such as Dr. Jordan B. Peterson, who we believe is the sage of our time. Michael, why are we here?
Today we were talking about the Gina Carano controversy of her working for Lucasfilm and then not working for Lucasfilm anymore. And now Elon Musk is apparently his lawyers are picking up her case and going to help her sue Disney. So whoop whoop. Let's go.
Let's go.
Strap in, ladies and gentlemen. We're in for a ride.
We're just going to kind of go through the history of this. So Gina Carano, for those that don't know, is started out as an MMA fighter. And she had I believe, a fight on Showtime that Steven Soderbergh, who's the director of Sex, Lies, and Videotape and Traffic and a bunch of other stuff, he actually saw her fight and thought that she exuded a bunch of charisma. And he hired her, almost just offered her the role of in the movie, his action movie Haywire, his 2011 action movie Haywire, which is really, it's nothing special, but it's a lot of fun. Gina is actually, I would say that she's a lot like Arnold Schwarzenegger. She's not a very good actress. She just has a presence. I think she's trying to get better. Better, and everybody can improve. But she played Angel Dust in Deadpool. She's done a
Fast and the Furious.
She was in Fast and the Furious.
She's been made appearances and stuff. And here's the great irony of this story is that she always was she exuded a strong female character, and that's the part she was always playing.
Yeah.
And that the left loves their strong female characters.
Yes.
But
only if they have the right politics.
Yeah, she had the wrong politics. And
so
wasn't okay.
Yeah, so she gets a role on the very popular Star Wars series, The Mandalorian, on Disney Plus. She's cast as Cara Dune, who becomes kind of a huge popular character. Like, I mean, not, she's just a fun character for the first two seasons of The Mandalorian. Now, she started posting social media posts in 2000 that were kind of against the COVID lockdowns. And then she was asked to put her pronouns on her bio.
And it was a big thing. She put
on Twitter.
Beep, bop, boop. And
she put beep bop boop as a joke, and people thought it was degrading.
More is probably just like a troll to all the bullies.
Yes,
on the web.
Media. Yeah.
That are like, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that. She's like,
yeah,
fine, yeah, I'll do it. Beep bop boop. Yeah. So
that's all these ticks against her, right? So the final straw comes, I guess, around when Joe Biden gets elected, and she puts out this post basically saying Jewish people were actually not originally hunted down by Nazis. They were hunted down and degraded by their neighbors. And then she basically states, how is that any different from hating someone for their political views? And that was the last straw for Disney. Disney takes that and all the other statements she's made on social media, which, by the way, her co-stars like Pedro Pascal, who's very liberal, he's making statements about children in cages at the southern border, and not getting anything
Yeah,
right.
basically liberal statement. He's on the other side.
He's on the
making
other
liberal
side,
statements,
and this is kind
and
of
she's over here making conservative statements
and getting told to shut up.
Yeah.
So they have this struggle session. Basically, they ask her to do a Zoom meeting with all of 40 different people. She refuses.
Like 40 people are on this meeting. It's like, geez.
She's like, then they're going to videotape it and then they're going to put it out there. And she's like, they're already degrading my character.
So they wanted me to get on the phone with like 40 of their LGBTQ community, not on the phone, on Zoom. And I felt like you're all these people, all your employees are slandering the hell out of me right now. You think I want to get on a video where they can then film it, and I felt very kind of insecure about that. So what I offered them was, the restaurants at the time had, started opening back up. And I was like, let me take, 4 or 5 of them out to dinner, and it'd be a person to person. You can look me in my eyes, I can look you in your eyes, and let's have a genuine conversation. And I think it's also a bit abusive that you want me to talk to 40 people and hear 40 people. Like, I just that have been slandering, like, and maybe not all of them have been slandering me, but a lot of them probably had. And it was just like, wait, I don't feel like I've really like deserved this,
So what ends up happening is they fire her, and then a spokesperson says, the direct quote is, her social media posts denigrated people based on their cultural and religious identities are abhorrent and unacceptable. So that's the statement.
Yeah.
That got her fired. Now, none of the things she said anything about religion or about cultural identities. She just made a statement about how Jewish people were treated right before the World War II.
Hey, let's not do this, guys.
Hey, let's not do this. Kind of.
Yeah.
That was the kind of attitude. So about a couple years go by, actually, and then Elon Musk acquires Twitter, and he basically states, hey, if you've been fired by for a post on this platform, get a hold of us and we will pay your lawyer fees to sue your ex-employer. And that's exactly what happened. She goes, I think I qualify, and it blew up the internet.
I'm sure it probably broke the internet a little bit on Twitter, just like, hey, do I qualify? And then
and then they were off to the races, because according to her statement is that she got lawyers came to her,
emailed her and contacted her, and
now they've officially, with the help of Elon Musk, Gina Carano is suing Disney for wrongful termination. And this is actually very hypocritical of Disney, because when they started the Disney Plus and the Lucasfilm collaboration, Kathleen Kennedy, who's the head of Lucasfilm, came out and made the statement that the Force is female, right? So she was going to put female women into prominent roles. They were going to be, that was her goal. And within months of saying, maybe a year after saying that, making those statements, they fire one of the most prominent females on one of their most prominent shows. And it really cuts it's like they are just full of shit. I mean, she doesn't have the right politics, so they're going to get rid of her because she doesn't have the right politics.
Sounds like the Force isn't female, the Force is left.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
That's what it sounds like. What are you really saying here,
Yes.
Kathleen Kennedy?
Yes, Kathleen Kennedy, the destroyer of franchises. So basically this is what this is kind of, you and I've been keeping track of this saga because Star Wars at one time meant a big deal to it. It was a big deal to both of us. And then we got a little bit of hope with the Mandalorian, after the failure of the
The
last
last one,
couple, the
which
Rey movies, which we weren't very impressed by. But anyway, so Mandalorian comes out. First season's awesome. I was like, holy crap, this could really do wonders. And then the second season comes out. It's a little less, but it's still pretty good. But then they fire her, and it takes a nosedive, man. I don't think she probably didn't bring anything really special to the whole thing, but basically
well, the idea was to have a side character that would have a branch off of her own story, which was supposed to be the Rangers of the New Republic.
Yeah, Rangers of the New
the
Republic
Rangers
was
of the New
supposed
Republic
to
was
star her. She
Yeah.
like they were offering her all these things because of how popular her character was. And her toy was really popular for some reason. According to what I've read, the toy that Disney puts out, and so this happens within just a couple of years. They just shit all over themselves. Basically, we're going to put her in as a lead and as a continuing character, and then they fire her, and then they basically, there's a shitstorm of fans that come after Disney after that. Like, Disney was showing its colors after that. After she gets fired, it's no longer a secret that Disney's really woke. And so they basically now it turned the fandom against them, because the first two seasons of Mandalorian, the fandom was on board for it. They were like, okay, this is great, you guys are doing good stuff. And um and then and then they fire her, and they're like, wait a second, what's going on here? And if you know anything about Star Wars fans, they really dig deep. I mean, there's, all the names of all the different planes and all the different spaceships and all that kind of stuff. And if you find out that somebody who's a popular character is getting fired, you're going to find out why. And so the internet just turned against Disney after that. So I would say that they have not created goodwill since her firing. So,
well, it's just been a kind of a downward spiral. It's just been one thing right after the other.
Yeah.
For the last couple of years. And
yeah,
so
pushing woke politics into the sphere of the storytelling, actually making the politics more important than the storytelling. That's a big one.
And then it culminates in a South Park episode.
Yeah, South Park episode.
Put a chicken in it, make her gay.
Linguine and clam sauce.
Excuse me. I believe I asked you to put a chicken in this and make her gay.
Yes, the chef was a little confused what you meant by that.
It means put a chicken in the linguine and make her fucking gay! And I want it lame!
Yeah.
So great.
So basically, once you've made a South Park episode, I would have to say that maybe that's maybe
that's the culmination. I don't know.
Yeah. She's suing Disney, and now she's got deep pockets because she's got Elon Musk on her side. And
Elon, I'm sure Elon's finding other people that this
has happened to. Yeah,
that this has happened to.
Here's a scenario: what if Disney gave her in her contract a clause that says you won't say political things? Well, that doesn't work because Pedro Pascal, the lead of The Mandalorian, was actually saying political things. So you can't. So it looks very much like they come after her for being a woman. Like she could make that claim because
misogynistic. Maybe it was misogynistic. I mean, if she wants to play that card, she probably could.
Yeah.
it, but at
So
the same time, it's like okay, but if you're going to fire people for having political views or putting out on social media their political views, then you kind of have to keep a standard. Then Pedro should have been
should have been
talked
or
to
reprimanded or whatever.
reprimanded, whatever. We don't really know, but
well, and
there should be consistency on that.
Well, here's the interesting thing. Only 2 people came to her defense in the cast. It was I think it was Bill Burr said that she was sweet. He's like, I don't know why they got rid of her. And then Carl Weathers, God rest his soul, he just recently died. Unfortunately. Of Rocky fame, and Predator. So Carl Weathers had a great career. And he was also one of the leads in Mandalorian. He actually came to her defense as well. Good on both of them for at least speaking out. And she says that she had a good rapport with everybody, and she's like, I don't have to agree with their politics to still have a good relationship with them.
Well, she said she's contacted a lot of them since, and all of them, all the cast has been very supportive of her.
Yeah.
Like, we don't agree with you, but we don't feel like you should have lost your job over it, kind of thing.
Yeah. So she had the potential of making a lot of money if she had been put as a lead in one of the other Star Wars series, which I think fans still kind of want, even though most of them have bowed out. I mean, I don't know the numbers for Ahsoka, the TV show Ahsoka, but I was told that it was really terrible. So,
yeah,
like the storytelling was terrible.
I quit watching it. I didn't even finish it. I was like, I care so little.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But I don't see how it would ever get to, they'd probably have to settle or something like that. I doubt they'd ever be like, okay, yeah, come back into the fold. Let's make these shows that we were planning on making.
Yeah.
I doubt that happens, because could you do that? It's like, got fired for your political views and then forced to and then they were forced to rehire you.
Yeah, I don't think that's
an awkward employee.
I would imagine, if I had to guess how this goes, I would imagine they're going to settle out of court, because I think Gina wants them to do a public apology. I think that would be the settlement. Like, you guys need to like so her career was kind of damaged by this.
Well, I mean, the idea that they were putting out, and they didn't come blatantly out and say you're racist, but like, how did they say it? Her social media posts denigrating people based on their cultural and religious identities are abhorrent and unacceptable, and everybody dropped her after that.
Her agency,
the organization, the UTA.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
That's her.
The agency.
That's the agency.
It was her agency dropped her after that. Like, it's slanderous. It's slanderous. It's unethical.
It's untrue.
And untrue.
It's not, yeah,
exactly. They have no proof. They have no backing for this. And so
something similar happened.
There you go.
Something similar happened with Jonathan Majors. Now, if you don't know who Jonathan Majors is, he's played King the Conqueror in the Ant-Man, and a couple of guest appearances in some of the Marvel stuff. And they had big plans for him. He was the latest opponent in the latest Creed movie. But Jonathan Majors basically was accused of battery, and he actually is going to serve some time for it because he was convicted. But Disney stood by him until his conviction came through.
Right.
So
innocent until proven guilty if you have the right views.
But
guilty as soon as we want you to. Like, as soon as we
if
hear
you have
it.
the wrong views, you're out. Yeah. So that comparison really is a lot of like egg on the face to Disney as a corporation. And if this does go to trial, if her lawsuit does go to trial, then she can point to these. like these incidences and be like,
Yeah.
well, is it because I'm a woman? Or like she could play that card because it
Uh,
looks really, really, really
wow,
bad
that would put him
right in their
backs
place.
against the wall in a corner.
Yep. I mean, that's pretty much, and Elon Musk, ever since the deal book summit, or book deal summit, has kind of opened, shots fired at Bob Iger for
Go yourself. Is that clear? Hey, Bob, if you're in the audience.
So how did he put it? He said, I hate people acting like they're virtue while doing evil things. He's like, I don't like that. I don't
The
like
perception of doing good while doing evil.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's exactly what Disney is about. They're talking about
Perception.
doing good. Yeah.
It's all about perception.
Mhm. They're talking about doing good while doing evil. And the bias is so evident. It's you cannot look at those incidences with the Jonathan Majors and with Gina Carano and go, there's a huge bias there. And the Disney or the D files have come out recently, and that's like in the animation department at Disney. And Film Thread is doing a lot of work on that. If you guys get a chance, go check that out. But basically what it is it's basically it's people anonymously talking about the cultural structure at Disney. And a lot of people are being pushed out because of the way they look. Specifically, they say if you're male and pale, you're stale. And so they're basically pushing all the old guard white people out of the system. And if anybody watched Wish, you know that that's not good, because Wish's animation was pretty terrible. I mean, it's not beautiful animation like we've seen in the past. Because we were watching not too long ago, we saw, we're watching Tangled, and Tangled, it's got some beautiful animation in it. And Tangled's 10 years old at this point. So Wish was a major, major flop. Like, it did not do well. And it was supposed to be
Disney keeps losing money. Okay, I'm throwing a theory out at you, and I want to hear your take. Okay, what if Elon Musk tries to not completely bankrupt, but to just a little bit bankrupt Disney with a bunch of lawsuits and things like this?
I think,
and then buys Disney.
Could
you imagine?
That is not out of the realm of possibility.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Because he actually recently was interviewed on a red carpet or something like that. I just saw this, and he's like, and they said, well, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm hanging out with friends, thinking of companies to acquire. Like, what?
That's what he said. I couldn't make out. I watched that clip and I couldn't quite make out what he said, but that's what he said.
That's what he said.
Oh, and companies to acquire.
Love it. He's just kind of trolling. I don't,
let's go though.
Let's go. Well, there's been a lot of talk since they've lost so much money. There's been a lot of talk that they might start selling off assets. Like they
might sell off just Lucasfilm.
They might sell off Lucasfilm.
That's what I heard, is maybe they just take Lucasfilm and just sell it off by itself, basically.
So here's the problem. Lucasfilm currently has 3 franchises that are decades old. There is nothing new being produced. Like, at what point have we beat these things to death? I don't think we'll see another Indiana Jones. We will definitely never see another Willow. I mean, they just killed the franchises that Disney owns. Like, Star Wars still has potential to continue because they could just keep going with that. But what I'm
they haven't ruined Back to the Future yet, so
that's not. I don't think Lucasfilm owns that. That's
oh, it's not.
Zemeckis
I thought
owns
that was
it.
Lucasfilm. Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, Zemeckis owns it, and he's actually said that he's not selling those rights.
Yeah,
he'll probably die with
don't
those
do
rights.
it. Don't do it. They'd ruin it.
And
straight up.
I mean, there's no hope for the future of these franchises because nobody's creating new ones. I can't think of anything new. It's all old. It's all based on
Stuff.
a book or a comic book or a, it's like, guys, just stop and maybe take a minute and try to figure out how to make. So Steven Spielberg and George Lucas were probably the best duo for creating a new franchise in history, and they've just blown all of that.
Well,
So
I think it goes back to not having a meritocracy.
yes.
And when you don't have a meritocracy, anything new that you try to do, see, like we've talked about this, that they tried some new stuff with like Rebel Moon with Netflix, like tried something new, right? They trying to do a new series, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of really crappy, and that's the problem, is some of these new things that they're trying to do. Well, but how's the best way to say it? The anti-meritocracy is already kind of settled in. So
yeah,
people are employing people that aren't qualified, don't have a success record, and
they keep giving them stuff to do.
Yeah.
Like that, like Zack Snyder, who did Rebel Moon, has done one really good movie, and everything else has been shit. Like, there's an argument to be made that the Justice League 4-hour movie that they released on HBO Max maybe was good. It was okay. I watched it. It's 4 hours long. If they had done justice to those characters, then maybe that would have been a good movie overall. But if Rebel Moon is shit, and he had almost complete control over that, and 300 is the only good movie he's ever made, then. So why keep giving this guy more opportunities? I mean,
right.
I mean, I'm all for new stuff, but if you make new stuff and it's still kind of shit, then all you're doing is making the case for them to not make anything new, and just keep going back to the well of the old. I mean, we got another Ghostbusters movie coming out. I mean,
oh boy.
Ghostbusters, I mean, that ship has sailed. Like, I don't think they're salvaging that. And not to mention that all the different comic book movies are just going to have new or different iterations for probably forever. We will never get to a point where there's not a comic book movie coming out. But the problem with that is that's all old, and the more you beat it to death, the less people are going to like it. So I don't know. I think it all comes back to that.
Which is why I hope Gina Carano doesn't actually come back and do Rangers of the New Republic.
Yeah. I think
I think whatever they do, they'll probably ruin that as well. Like,
yeah, so I kind of think that she dodged a bullet by not being in the 3rd or 4th seasons of The Mandalorian, because they're so bad now that it's just like, why are we doing this? Like, we should not be doing this anymore. I don't know. They just I hope that the lawsuit wakes people up. I hope she actually wins the lawsuit, that it's a huge slap in the face to Disney, and they go, you know what? It's this woke ideology that we have bought in hook, line, and sinker is no longer paying off. We are losing money. We are losing lawsuits. We need to, and supposedly there's going to be there's some people trying to take over the hostile takeover in Disney, which is the reports, if you want to believe the reports, but who knows if that's actually happening. Nobody knows. But I know their quarterly meeting can't be good because they haven't had a success in a while. So it's like, and now they got this lawsuit hanging over their head. Now, there's is an argument to be made that she's not that great of an actress and that they just thought that she wasn't doing that well. I don't think that holds water because her character, Kira Dune, or whatever you want to call it, was popular when she was a popular character. And she's got enough of a presence that I'm sure that she could have held a series of her own together, with the right showrunner. But like I said, I believe that she's a lot like Arnold Schwarzenegger. She's got a presence to her, and she's got this tough girl attitude, and so it's very she could have a long career just as doing that kind of character. So, and I hope she does. She does, some of her movies have been really good. Like Haywire, I liked. Terror on the Prairie was good. So she deserves a chance, or at least an apology, I would say. She definitely deserves an apology.
Yeah.
So, any more thoughts on that?
No, my final thought is just I'm ready to strap in and see
Where
how
this
this
goes.
all goes down.
Yeah.
Ready.
I would like Disney to kind of get what they deserve. I think, that they were a big company, they were a successful company. They shouldn't be isolating the very people that what's happened is I think the respect for the audience has dwindled considerably. I think, when Hillary Clinton said the deplorables, that's what Hollywood thinks of most of their audience, is that they're just deplorables. And so, and the fact that they think that has put people off to what they're putting out. And so people aren't coming back. It's kind of disappointing. It's disappointing that there couldn't have been better movies.
A golden age of Star Wars.
Yeah. I think we saw the
Too
golden
bad.
age in Star Wars when they came out in the 70s. So check us out on social media, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. In the meantime, keep reading, keep listening, keep watching, learn more. We'll see you.
See ya.
Well, then maybe we should go a different route than we did with Indiana Jones.
Fuck Indiana Jones! Put a ticket in and make her name it gay!